Japan. The year, sword time. A long time ago probably. A land shrouded in mystery and fog and low draw distance. It was an age of honor, of silence, of assassins who spilled copious amounts of pixely blood and made dramatic poses in the moonlight. Here, shadows were a way of life. Rooftops were public highways, apparently, and guards had the memory span of a fruit fly. Let the Dusty Game Society guide you through this noble tale of PS1 jank, rooftop mayhem, and the birth of the stealth genre as we barely understood it.
What? Who are you?
This is Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Ah, yeah. Playing this just brings back the smell of plasticky PS1 jewel cases and the sound of a spinning disc struggling to load, and me, 16 years old, hunched in front of a tiny CRT TV on my dresser at 1 a.m. on a school night, trying desperately not to get caught by my mom or by a guard who apparently could hear me crouch walking from 30 feet away. This game was my entry drug into the stealth genre, before Metal Gear Solid, before Splinter Cell, and way before Assassin's Creed was jumping off buildings into hay bales. Tenchu was out there letting you sneak around on rooftops and neck stab dudes with honor. This game was released in 1998, and my friend who was super into PS1 was excited for this one, and he got me excited, and I think I actually bought this one on launch day. Or close to it. It landed in my life like a throwing star to the jugular. I was nuts about this game, and it opened my eyes to the possibilities of being a sneaky stabby guy, rather than a muscled up face smashy guy. But it's been years since I played this. I don't think I've played it even once beyond like a quick little test here and there on the occasional retro handheld, so I was super excited to dive in and give this a full playthrough as a fully grown quote-unquote adult to see how it's held up. I am super into stealth games these days. I love me some Dishonored or Thief. Splinter Cell is one of my favorite franchises, and also Assassin's Creed. I love those games. I played them all, and I had to know if we went back to the birth of the genre, how would it hold up? Did it age well? Well, yeah, and no. We'll talk about it. But does it still rule? Absolutely. You're hired by Lord Goda to keep peace in feudal Japan, which mostly involves murdering corrupt officials and creepy cultists under the cover of darkness. Yeah, there's betrayal and mystery and kidnapped princesses and ancient evil, you know, ninja stuff. Honestly, the plot is pretty forgettable, but let's be real. You're mostly here for the dramatic cutscenes where someone turns and says something cheesy like,
"It's a beautiful night. You should be looking for a boyfriend."
As for the gameplay, this is where the game sinks its little ninja claws into your heart, or back, depending on how good you are at not being terrible. Each mission drops you into a self-contained map, and it tasks you with sneaking to your objective while avoiding guards and dogs and archers and the world's most paranoid civilians. You get to choose who to play as, Rikimaru or Ayami, but honestly they're more alike than different. I mean, sure, Ayami moves a bit faster and Rikimaru has the grumpy ninja dad energy, but they both stab stuff and fall off rooftops with equal grace. And the story is the same no matter who you choose, I think. The stealth system is surprisingly deep for the time. I remember back in the day feeling like an absolute ninja assassin. Enemies have like vision, cones, and hearing ranges. You're rewarded for sneaky kills with a stealth kill animation that freezes the screen and it shows your character brutally but tastefully slashing a fool. And you actually do get a score at the end of the level. It's like a report card in how violent you were. Or weren't. The better you perform, like fewer alerts and more stealth kills, that sort of thing, the better you do and the better your ranking. Just don't ask what my typical ranking was. I don't want to talk about it. Your arsenal is a delightful grab bag of ninja nonsense. You know, throwing stars and caltrops, poison rice balls, smoke bombs, landmines, and the grappling hook. Oh man, it's clunky and weird, but once you get the hang of it, it's crazy fun. Nothing beats latching onto a rooftop and zooming up into the shadows to skulk around and pounce like a stealth assassin. Sometimes. This is a third-person action platformer from the PS1, which means the controls are a mixture of tank controls meets awkward camera. Sometimes you'll jump when you're meant to crouch, sometimes you'll fall off a roof, sometimes a guard sees you through a wall and suddenly it's fight or flight, and flight usually means just flinging a smoke bomb and running away like a coward. After I finished the first few levels, I was thinking, what the hell have I gotten myself into? Replaying this, but shortly after that, the controls, it kind of clicked with me. Once you learn to use the jank, you can master it, and I gotta say, the more of these PS1 era games that I play, the more I'm developing muscle memory for these archaic control schemes. And that jank in the controls, the tank controls, I know lots of people hate that and can't get over it, but for me, that jank is part of the charm of playing these games. I like learning to love the games within the limitations of the control scheme. And there's a rhythm to it, a flow. Once you get it, you feel like a real ninja. One pretty major thing about the gameplay is the stealth, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, pun intended. On the one hand, the stealth is way ahead of its time, and you can totally use the shadows to your advantage. Plan your approach and execute with precision, but it's so limited because of the movement. Like when you're crouching, you can't turn. You have to stand up to turn and then you'll give yourself away. And I only found out after the first half of the game that you can roll while you're in stealth to move quickly. I was just crawling around slowly like a chump before I figured that out. I kind of wish I read the manual because that's the sort of thing that's probably explained there. The levels are pretty open and there is a map that you can pull up, but there's no a marker on the map of where the bad guy is. So you need to hunt around and deduce it yourself. I actually like the lack of handholding there. It made me try to be resourceful and methodical and not just bite off more than I can chew every 4 seconds. Also, the levels are short enough that failure doesn't sting too hard. You'll find yourself restarting just to try to get that one section again with more stealth and less accidentally alerting the entire neighborhood with your rice ball throwing arm. I freaking love the art style in this game. I mean, yeah, it's a PS1 game from 1998. The textures are chunky and the models are clunky and the view distance is tiny, but despite the technical limits, the vibe is immaculate. Every level feels like a little ninja diorama, with lots of attention to detail in the small areas to set the scene. And there's great variety too. You get bamboo forests and castle rooftops and creepy mountain paths and haunted shrines. The lighting is good. It kind of sells it. That weird pre-baked twilight glow. It gives everything a spooky, otherworldly feel. Like the whole world is existing 5 minutes before a thunderstorm. The character designs are charming too. Rikimaru looks like a low-poly ninja guy, and Ayami looks like she's gonna head out to the club after her next assassination contract. The enemies are distinct enough that you can tell who's tough and who's a monk and who's just a terrified peasant that you probably should not murder, but you will. Accidentally, of course. Sorry, buddy. Hey, get back here. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate the blood spray animations. Just beautiful. The little pixelated splash that says, "You did a good sneak." And the sound is, it's good. I mean, it's mostly pretty standard stuff, kind of what you would expect, but it fits in a moody, ambient, haunted tea garden kind of way. It's actually beautiful. It's minimal with plucky strings and the occasional ominous drone designed to keep you tense and focused, like a massage for your anxiety. And the voice acting is very of its time. I played through as Ayami specifically because I liked her voice actor better. It's so 90s. I love it.
Lord Goda trusted you. How could you betray him?
I may have made mistakes, but I allow no women to scold me like that.
Your arrows are like you, weak and twisted. I fear them. Not.
The sound effects are really well done. I played this with headphones on and I definitely recommend that. You can hear the crunchy footsteps around you and use them to help you nail down the positioning of who's moving around. Enemies grunt with bizarre intensity, and of course the classic guard alert noise, which lives rent-free in my head to this day. But let's not pretend that this game aged like fine wine. It aged more like lukewarm sake left in the sun. The controls are super awkward, especially at first, but it never went away entirely. The jumping is imprecise. Sometimes the camera just decides you've seen enough and it flips to a wall, or it won't let you look down to the angle that you actually want to see. It kind of makes it hard to be a badass stealthy ninja pouncing down from above when you can't look down. It feels like a pretty basic thing I'd want to be able to do. And the AI, while ambitious for its time, is kind of hilarious today. It's like they have two modes, sleepwalking idiot or all-seeing murder hawk. The level design, while atmospheric and a huge part of the game is exploring the levels, it can be a little samey. Some levels feel pretty similar to others, and some maps are so dark and foggy that you're just wandering around looking for things you haven't seen yet as you hunt for your target. And there's some frustrating trial and error that can lead to repeated restarts and rage quitting, or rage quick saving, and then rage quick loading 5 seconds later, especially parts like this freaking lava river jump near the end. I must have redone this like 30 times in a row. Thank the emulation gods for save states, because I can guarantee I would not have had the patience to do this without them. But here's the thing. Tenchu was doing something wildly ahead of its time. It brought actual stealth gameplay to 3D consoles before it was cool. It taught teenage dweeb patience, it punished me for being impulsive, it rewarded me for thinking like a ghost, a stabby vengeful ghost, and that all still holds true today. The tools and ideas in Tenchu laid the groundwork for so many games to come. Grappling hooks, noise-based enemy awareness, sneak-based rankings. It was Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed. It was Hitman if Agent 47 favored ninja stars and carried rice balls. It showed us that sneaky could be fun, even if the stealth system was basically a guessing game sometimes. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows right now on the PC, and I find it hard to believe that game would exist at all if not for Tenchu. But more than its place in history and its legacy, Tenchu still holds up today as a game. I legitimately had a freaking blast playing this game last month. It's slow, it's quiet, and it forces you to move with intention, to learn the map, to observe. That kind of sort of deliberate pacing is rare in modern games. I mean, in a world where everything's open world this and big set piece explosion that, going back to Tenchu feels primitive in a good way. Kind of calm, like a ninja meditation with neck stabbing. And that's why it's perfect for the Dusty Games Society. We don't just play these games to beat them. We play them to understand them, to feel where they fit in the timeline of gaming. And Tenchu fits right at the moment where stealth became a real thing, that felt real, and was as much a part of the game as the neck stabbing part. So light some incense, put on your ninja pajamas, and sneak like your mom told you to turn off that PS1 and get to bed because it's a school night. But look at me now, Mom. I'm playing Tenchu at 1 AM and you can't stop me, and I'm doing it for a freaking job. I bet you feel pretty dumb now, huh? But the DGS isn't a one dweeb show, and the fine dweebs of the DGS had a lot to say about this one, so let's hear from them a little bit now. Why not? One odd gent says that this game is the ultimate monkey paw wish. Want to become an awesome ninja? No problem, but you're stuck with clunky tank controls. Tenchu is one of JWG LLC's favorite franchise, but concedes that the PS1 version suffered from clunky controls and wonky graphics, but felt that it made up for it in presentation and form. Firewalker loved the music and the idea of the game, but found the draw distance and stiff movement gave him trouble. Monkey 484 loved the concept of the game and the atmosphere and the music, but not the controls, but is still ultimately glad that he gave it a go. Remy found that the controls and mechanics didn't age so well, but still liked the dialogue and loved the setting, and has some ideas for a cool multiplayer mode that I personally think sounds amazing. MT Riley loves stealth games but wasn't prepared for the combination of stealth and tank controls, which prevented them from enjoying it fully, and would love to see a patched version with updated controls. Photon Rabbit didn't hate it but prefers Tenchu Z for the Xbox 360 and still enjoyed seeing the origin of the franchise. Zensible is new to the DGS, welcome, and agreed with the others that it felt clunky and that they didn't feel super stealthy in the game because of the loose stealth mechanics. Rajbal Palubu is also new to the DGS. I'm sorry I messed up your name. Thanks for joining though. They're a big fan of stealth games and they wanted to try this one for a long time now. And they thought it was fun, found the combat satisfying, and yeah, clunky controls, but also found it strange that there were so many boss fights in a stealth game. Phalanx found that this game made them thankful for the intuitive controls that we have now in games. Felt like this was a real stealth game, unforgiving if you don't sneak around good enough, and while the controls are clunky, it's super satisfying when you can figure them out. Couldn't have said it better myself. The Shibushi doesn't usually do well with stealth games, and they found Tenchu a challenge. Found that sometimes they could be stealthy, but sometimes they just went on a murder spree. Impressed with the verticality and liked being able to take whatever approach they wanted, but found that the speed of the game worked against the feeling of being an agile ninja. And they also liked the silly amounts of blood. I think everybody probably did. Let's be real. Jeremy Southard played this one back in the day, even digging out his original PS1 disc for this month, and had a great time reliving his high school days of staying up late running around on rooftops. AJP loves stealth games but was terrible at this one. Thought the music was great vibes, loved the quantities of blood, and gave it 5 invisible ninjas out of something. Gact found that this one was a true test of merit. It's challenging the way only a PS1 game can be, and it makes you think your way to victory. All our tech was excited to play the game, and they loved the idea of the stealthy ninja thing, but was disappointed in how clunky and slow it felt. Jot N isn't stealthy, they just wanted to beat the crap out of stuff. It's not for them, but they like trying out a game like this, and yeah, thanks for joining, buddy. And that's it. That's all we have for you today. A sneaky relic from the dusty archives of the PS1. I had a great time, not every DGS member did, and the only way for you to know if you're gonna like it is to try it, so you should. The Dusty Game Society is a perk that I offer to the patrons of TechDweeb, a way for me to hang out with the cool dweebs that support the important work that I do, play some great games together and make videos like this where I can give everybody a chance to share their mini reviews with the world. If you would like to become a supporter and join the DGS and play some games with us, there's a link in the thingy below. I hope you enjoyed this look at Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Give it a try if you haven't yet. You might find it sneaks its way into your heart, or makes you rage quit and throw your handheld across the room in frustration. It's all part of the fun. From all of us at the DGS, stay dusty, my friends.